So I guess we're just going to get right into it. And we're live from Arizona to Asheville. This is a technology grand.
Wow.
What's up, Matt? How you doing?
Good. How are you, Bobo?
I'm doing pretty well. I look at the range of motion that I have going. I mean, some people know. Some people know. Some people don't know that I recently destroyed my shoulder.
We're talking about that tonight.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, hang on. Let me do my little intro.
Sure.
Welcome to the Shut Up.
You got this.
Welcome to the Shut Up and Ride podcast, where we, all of you out there, interview Bobo from Biking from Bobo. Basically, we interview mountain bikers, free riders, and generally cool people, and Bobo certainly fits all of that. Pressing on to 50,000 subscribers. So
yeah, just hit 48K today. Excited about that, and just grinding away.
I'm giving you influencer status at that point.
I appreciate that. I guess I prefer the term content creator, but I'm not. I really have no preference, but I like to think of myself more of as a filmmaker first.
But you really are. No, you really are. Like you're not some Johnny-come-lately even before you did this, right?
In terms of filmmaking, I used to work in the film industry. I mean, I still do. I really consider YouTube very much part of the film and entertainment industry. If it's got a camera and you broadcast it somewhere, that's pretty much been my job for a long time now, longer than I'd care to admit. But that's what I used to do when I lived in Orlando, Florida. Came up here to Asheville, discovered what real downhill mountain biking was like, and never looked back. But yeah, I used to work in the film industry and still edit for some clients here and there. But most of my income comes from YouTube. That is pretty much what I do now. I'm pretty much a full-time YouTuber.
Well, let's talk about that. So everyone here, you know that this is all about Bobo. It's all about the interview, but in the description is Bobo's Patreon. His I would highly, highly recommend to subscribe to his channel. I have been stealing content off Bobo for as long as I've been following him, which is quite a long time. He's very good at the Instagrams. I always say this about Instagrams. I can't stand when people post too much. And Bobo always puts a smile on my face. And let me just say one more time about the Patreon. And maybe Bobo and I could talk about this a little bit.
Sure.
I've made a 180 on Patreon. I don't think that YouTube can be sustainable without it. And so I'm very glad it is around. And it does help if you sign up for Bobo's Patreon, $1 a month, $3, $5, $10, whatever it is. Oh, Rob Hunt of Rob Hunt Tattooing says hi.
It is the one who inked my arm, the old pineapple over here.
I like that. Is that your only tattoo?
Oh, people, they love this topic. Yeah, I have several tattoos. I got one up on my shoulder, and I got one on I have a tramp stamp. Okay,
that a boy.
I've lived. That's what that means. People are always like, why do you have that? I was like, because I fucking have lived.
And you demonetized this shit already. That's a record. I thought Kevin Grimes was going to do it, but congratulations, you did it first.
No, I'm always going to beat Kev.
Do you have the welcome aboard tattoo?
No, I do not. That would be a good way to fix it.
And you know Kevin pretty well, right?
Yeah, I've known Kevin for a few years now, I think. Yeah, it's crazy how quickly people come right into your lives, and then you know that person. It's crazy. YouTube has opened up the world to me in terms of like all these people that I've met through YouTube and all the gnarly people that when I started YouTube, I just rode by myself and I didn't progress much as a rider. And it's so funny how much more social I've become after the channel. So I go out and I ride with all these really fast guys, and I've had to step up my game believe it or not, gotten way better at riding because I'm chasing guys that are just about uncatchable. So.
Let me ask you something, because I was talking to Joe, Mr. Tonka, and he claims that Kevin Steady Spin is the most persuasive guy, the heaviest peer pressure you'll ever meet. Is that true?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to come on this podcast and talk shit about someone, but yeah, that is absolutely true. But you need that person around as much as it can be uncomfortable sometimes, especially when he's like trying to convince someone that we don't know. Like someone stand over a drop, he's like, "Listen, Dad!" It's like, we don't know him, Kevin. We don't know him. Like those times can be uncomfortable, but I can credit the guy for helping me overcome my fear for many things. The drama drop, I would not have done.
Stop. Let's talk about that. I watched that today. That was
really?
A big drop.
Yeah, people always, there's a very popular question. They're always like, is it really as bad as everyone makes it? Because it doesn't look bad. Like that's always the comment that I get is like, it doesn't look bad. It's like, yeah, nothing looks bad on camera, right? I mean, you guys have filmed stuff and then looked at it afterwards, right? What a fucking bummer that is. Demonetized again. But the drama drop, super sketchy for so many reasons. And I don't know. I just felt like I had to do it that day. And man, if I just hadn't slipped a pedal, probably could have rode away. But instead, I ate shit pretty hard.
Yeah, that is such a weird deal. It sounds kind of douchey to say because, even on my shitty channel, you tell people I'm not riding that fast. I'm not. The camera adds a million miles an hour. However, the trade-off is any drop, it looks like, wow.
It's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger in life. I had somebody comment on a video once. They were like, I went out to Hawkeye's jump line just to see if I was better than Bobo, and holy shit, those jumps are huge. So people are still surprised by that. But Kev helped me out getting over the drama drop, and he helped me do the little road gap out in Bentonville. So sometimes peer pressure is a good thing.
I think so too. Let's talk about your shoulder. Let's talk about your trauma.
Sure thing.
Was that on film?
No, it was not on film. I always have this saying, always be rolling, ABR. If the camera still has life in it, roll it, because you just never know what's going to happen. You could be going out the trail and Sasquatch comes across you. Like always be rolling. And this particular evening, we were filming for Paul, the Punter's channel, so I just had a different feeling about it, and it was just like, well, this is his production. I'm not. Why roll footage when I don't need it? I regret that, but not really, because.
Let me ask you something, Bobo.
Yeah.
If you had it, would you post it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It would be gold. It would be gold. But I don't know. I don't know how much of it I would have posted, because maybe if the camera were rolling, it would have changed the way I reacted. Because when I landed, I knew I suffered a really serious injury. I thought the collarbone was broken for sure, badly. And I said,
would you have been better off if it was broken?
Probably, yeah.
That X-ray you posted was disgusting.
Yeah, stage 5 AC separation, which is unheard of. Like I had a lot of people tell me that, stage 4 is rare. Stage 6 is the worst, which means your arm must be just ripped completely off of your body. But yeah, I had stage 5, and I just got this little bitty. I don't even know if you can. A little bitty incision up there, just that little bitty incision. 2 pins inserted, and they fixed it. But I still have 3 months of recovery left, so still got a long ways to go. But the arm is feeling great. It feels like a normal shoulder again.
That's good.
I can dance again, so that's good.
You couldn't dance in the first place.
Hey, I got dad moves for days. How do you think that I got Miss Bobo?
I had my shoulder surgery 2.5 years ago.
Oh,
and made lots of mistakes. Yeah, I had the epidural like you had. My wife brought me home, set me up in ESPN, Cheetos, and I was doing great. But when that thing wore off, I was panicking a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe how much this hurts, and this is wrong. Take me to the ER. So props to you. Let me get you some of these questions.
Sure.
What kind of mountain bikes do you have now?
Well, mountain bikes, I have the Giant Rain Carbon Advanced, which is actually a 2017. It's dated for what I do. And it's so funny. I let my buddy Landy borrow it the other day because his bike was in the shop, and he went to the park with it. And he was like, "Holy shit, you've been riding this whole time?" Nothing against the Giant Rain. It's 2017. It's just like not quite the right geometry, or with all the things that have changed in 2018, 19s. I really need a new bike, but I've made so many upgrades to it that it's going to be hard to not ride the thing. It's a beautiful bike. I have that, and I have the Cannondale Jekyll, which is a 2011. So those are the two mountain bikes, and then I have my Transition PB&J dirt jumper.
Yeah, that's a cool bike. I've seen that one on your channel.
Airwolf.
Let me ask you this: have you ever regretted selling a mountain bike? And it sounds like you might regret selling what you have. You seem like you get emotionally attached.
Yeah, you do. I mean, my first entry-level hardtail was a giant, I guess I have a thing for giants, Revel, like basic as they come hardtail. I think I paid $400 for it new. But I love that bike, and it was a really cool bike. It really opened up my my whole world to mountain biking. And
how long ago was that?
That was probably 2009, I think. 2000, yeah, probably 2009 or 10. And then I sold it for dirt cheap, for nothing, just to have money to put towards my new full suspension. And yeah, I regret that because I could have just waited like another week and earned the money. So I wish I could have a hardtail to just pedal around here. So yeah, I mean, I regret it. Like, I can't ever sell any of my guitars. I have this side. There it is. I've had that guitar since high school, and I'd love to have a Fender Strat right now, but it has too much sentimental value. You just can't get rid of the things that you love. And
tell me about your musical background.
Well, I grew up in a musical family. I'm from upstate South Carolina, which is actually kind of mountainy, well, foothilly, I guess. And I lived out in the woods, kind of, in a house with a music studio. My dad was a musician. My sister was a musician. And just a musical family in general. And I've always played music. I was a semi-professional musician in Orlando before I moved up here. And ever since YouTube, I don't have time to play anymore. So I don't play the guitar very much these days, but I'm hoping to remedy that. I have this theory where people get overwhelmed with life, but if you make time for things and just get organized, the time is there. So I do plan on getting back into music very soon.
How awesome is Mrs. Bobo? We see her every now and then.
Well, she's the best. If it wasn't for her, I'd be in prison probably.
She right now seems like such a great spirit. Is she up for all your vids?
Oh yeah, yeah. She trusts me for some reason. Yeah, she's a good sport about it. I mean, this last episode that we did,
it was great.
We were both sick during the filming, and she was such a soldier for going out in the woods, sick out of her mind. Had 2 ear infections. And she still went out and helped out. So yeah, she's great. She's my other half. She completes me.
I like when she shows up on your channel. So is that your worst injury ever on a mountain bike?
Oh yeah, by far. Okay. Worst injury, most brutal crash. Yeah, absolutely. Probably, and I've had a lot of injuries in my life. I've always been an athlete too, and I've had a lot of injuries. But this is probably the worst injury I've ever had.
What other kind of athletics did you do?
In high school, I played soccer, football, cross country, track. I think that's it.
So you were like a big swinging dick on campus, weren't you?
The dick was swinging. Yeah.
That a boy.
Yeah, yeah, I just always played sports, and then when you get old and you don't have that sport to identify with anymore, there's like this void that needs to be filled, and I think that's where mountain biking kind of steps in for a lot of people. A lot of people probably played a
Well
sport.
said. That's
Yeah.
very well said. All right, let's get you in trouble here. Will
Shoot.
you ever own, or can you give me an opinion on emtb? You think you're ever going to own one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love that there's a controversy. I think people will get upset about anything, and
Isn't that great?
oh, people just, I mean, like, that's just a human quality. It's like, wait a second, I went this whole day and I didn't get upset about anything. That's bullshit. Let's rewind this day, start over, find something to get fucking upset about.
Let me go on the Instagrams. I'll figure out something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to hear the politics behind it because I hate politics in general. So I don't want to hear the argument about it. But all I know is that I think it's a good thing because it's going to help get more people out there. My wife's very athletic, very athletic. She beats me on most of our runs, and I was a distance runner. Yet she's a little intimidated when we go out on the bike for big, gnarly climbs, which I've just gotten used to. You know, we get used to the pain. We know this is gonna suck. But for someone like her, it's hard to get her into the sport when there's an hour and a half straight up over gnarly routes climb you have to start with. So there's that. I don't think it's doing any damage. I know that there's a lot of people who have strong opinions about it, but I could give a fuck about their opinions. I don't see any harm in it. I'm sure I just lost half my subscribers from that statement. Fuck those people.
All right. Let's go on to the next section. But before I do, let me remind you, check out in my description. I have Bobo's channel. You can subscribe to that. His Patreon, well worth it. His content is really outstanding.
Thank you.
I really think it is. I
appreciate that.
I always say this, and I probably said this on other interviews. Being a shitty MTB creator myself, I always feel like it's like a restaurant owner that goes to a different restaurant and starts picking stuff apart. And so, like, when I watch other content creators that I really admire, I watch it a couple of times. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? How long did it take for him to jump into Mrs. Bobo's lingerie, which was great. So don't forget to take a look in the description. All right. What are you not very good at?
Skateboarding.
Really?
I'm terrible at skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding, anything where you're on a board and you're going sideways. Like, I'm officially quitting snowboarding. I'm never snowboarding again. I'm going to try to learn how to ski now. I'm that bad at board sports. It bothers the hell out of me. I've tried every sport on a board, and I'm terrible at it.
When I invite you to Oregon to come and kiteboard with me, you're not doing it?
Probably not, unless you want to see some dude get like flung up in the air, slam into a building, and then drown. I mean, that would probably be how I would kiteboard.
That's cool.
I mean, it would be great for YouTube. I'm not gonna say that it wouldn't be great for YouTube, but yeah, no, I'm just bad at board sports, and I hate that. I always wanted to be good at board sports.
Fair enough. Here's a hard question. Tell me something that you think is true that almost nobody agrees with you.
Something that I think is true.
That you think is true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
I don't know. I gotta say, that's an obscure question. I wasn't expecting something so philosophical, because I don't know. I probably the e-bike thing. I don't know.
It seems that way.
I don't know. All I can say in response to that question in terms of content is, like, I have instincts, and oftentimes, and this really is just a segue into something else because I don't know how to answer the question, but oftentimes I'll be sitting down to create a video or something, and it'll occur to me that a line of dialogue or a joke might be too far for some people to handle. And I've gotten feedback from people like, hey, you should take that line of dialogue out because that is just way too much. And when I hear that, that means that has to stay in. So I try to avoid appeasing the masses in terms of controversy or being politically correct. So if there's one thing that I strongly agree with that probably most people don't, is that fuck being politically correct. Politically correct.
That a boy. Let me get some of these.
I'm not trying to like go out of my way to offend people. I just have natural instincts and I follow those. Sometimes I do take things out that I think are too far, but for the most part, if it's offensive, it's probably good.
Okay. Let me get some of these people in the comments asking you questions. Here's one right here.
Sure.
Backyard trail builds.
I love this channel. This is the best.
How fucking great is Seth's channel? Has
he not surpassed me in subscribers yet? I'm pretty sure he was close. He was close earlier today, so he probably just passed me. He probably is like aware of this too. But he's a great musician as well, and I'm gonna send him some of my latest tracks that I've been recording because I want to collab with this guy. But what's Seth's question?
He says, Bobo, is the beard real? If no, where do you buy your beards?
Amazon. This came straight from Amazon. It is a glorious beard, I must say. I've worked really hard to achieve this type of...
Sweet baby Jesus. Look at that thing.
This is just 3 days.
This is like 6 years right here.
I see Seth trying to grow his stuff out though. I've seen a patch or two on the old Backyard Trail Builds channel. It's starting to come in.
I'll give you a piece of trivia. First channel to shout out Backyard Trail Builds. This guy right here.
Oh yeah, you're the OG, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm not that OG.
Yeah, he's got a great concept.
He does.
A great plan, and he will more than likely surpass all of us eventually.
I hope so. He'll be on this show eventually.
Cool.
He's scheduled. John Parrish wants to know, where is your favorite place to ride?
Oh, well, that's easy. That's Bailey Mountain Bike Park in North Asheville. It's really close, and I don't have to climb. And every moment, including the shuttle up, you're fearing for your life. It's a thrill, and I love all the trails, all the features. I love the staff there, great people. They let me and my buddies camp at the top, just camp out at the top.
Really?
Yeah, several times.
That is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
My friend XC Ben already said that. Is Bailey's your favorite park?
What's up, XC Ben? You damn straight.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and that I love Bailey. I love it.
All right. Hey, Bobo, why not buy a new frame and just swap your upgraded components?
Ding, ding, ding. Hey, what's up, Chump? Chump MTB. That is very likely the plan because I can probably make that work. And yeah, I'm thinking in terms of what I can get away with because my Cane Creek fork on the front is adjustable up to 170 mil of travel. So I very likely, right now, everything on the bike is brand new. Everything except for the frame. So that's something me and my buddies have been discussing in great length, is possibly getting a new aluminum frame, like a new version of the Rain. Yeah, I wreck too much for a carbon frame.
Wow,
I'm shocked that thing is still in one piece.
Hey, Bobo, Craig Lynch asked this. So what side do you wear your junk when you're riding? That is a highbrow question.
Eyebrow went up. I don't know. I like to think of it as it's so tiny. It's probably just like going back and forth both sides. No way.
I don't need the visual.
That's what the thrill that I'm feeling in my loins as I'm descending. It feels like it's doing this. So that's what I think's happening.
Here's a real life question. Ian Davey.
Sorry.
First trail ride last Sunday. So way to go, Ian. That's great. Oh. Could not attempt first steep descent. Suggestions next time.
Yeah. So I encountered this very same thing. First time I got on real steep stuff, it can be very intimidating. And I know it seems counterintuitive, but speed is your friend. However, I don't suggest you just go for something if you're not ready for it. So have a friend tow you in, show you the right speed. Try to stay off the brakes and let the tires roll. Get tutelage before you go out there too, Ian. But I know what you mean. First time you're on like really, really steep, it can be super, super intimidating. But get your friend's advice, have somebody tow you in. And when I get back on the bike, I'm going to take lessons. So take some lessons, dude, because just one lesson will be a big help.
Let me follow up on that question. I've heard a whole bunch of YouTubers, Seth's Bike Hacks, Alexander, and they will say, like, when you did the drama drop, they say, that's awesome. Go back and do it as fast as you can now. Go back and do it again.
Well, yeah, it's not.
Do you believe in that?
Yes, the sampler was the one. When I did the roll the first time, he was like, "Oh man, you got to go up and do it again, like, or it doesn't count." And he's right. Same thing when I did the big doubles. So I think there's something to be said about a comfort level and comparing things. Once you've done a feature, you will forever have that, or a trail, you will forever have that as like a mark. Like you set the bar here. Like I've done this feature. And you can use that to compare to other features in the future. But yeah, repetition. I mean, when I first went to Bailey, the speed was like lighting your hair on fire. People do not know how fast that fucking place is. But now I feel comfortable there. I feel comfortable for the most part with the speed. It's still terrifying, but nothing like the first time. It gets better. Okay. So yeah, repetition.
Thomas Fenlon wants to know what your dream bike is.
Santa Cruz V10. Is that too fast? Probably it's the Santa Cruz V10 or the Rocky Mountain Slayer, because I think the Slayer would be obviously a bit more versatile. But I don't know. I always have the most fun on downhill bikes. I'm not the best rider, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun on downhill bikes. So,
all right, last question. Last question here. Oh, look who this is.
Hey, biker. Robert, what's up, man?
Robert S. I want to know how many internet stalkers Mrs. Bobo has got since the last video. What an asshole. I can't wait till he's on this show.
Yeah. She definitely gained a bunch of new fans. That's for sure. I had a feeling that would be a popular scene. Probably should have made it the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
It's never too late.
Cake?
I said it's never
pie.
Oh, cake or pie?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Don't fuck up.
All right. Past me would say cake for sure, but we live near this pie shop called Baked. And it's like a marijuana reference. And the pies are just phenomenal. So I guess these days pie.
Okay. Now, before I get to my conclusion questions with Bobo, and thank you very much, Bobo, for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me, Matt.
Absolutely. And don't forget, for reals, check out. So I post all of these live feeds and they're on my channel, but all of the description is to go on, subscribe to Bobo's channel, especially on the Patreon. So worth it. So worth it.
I put out podcasts and bonus vlogs over there and all kinds of stuff going on over there. It really does make all this work.
I appreciate you reminding me of that, because you're not just supporting someone, you're getting a lot for it. And you're probably getting a lot more than your basic subscriber. And so don't forget to do that. And let me give you the last 3 questions, then I'm going to cut you loose.
All right.
What's your favorite word?
Favorite word? Probably will be fuck. I say fuck a lot. And there's so many variations of fucking good conjunctions, like fuck ass, like, hey, you're such a fuck ass, or, fuck you conveys a strong point, very quick. I'd say the F-bomb, yeah, is my favorite. Mostly because the Coen brothers used it so eloquently in The Big Lebowski, which was my favorite film. After that movie, I just fell in love with the term, and I was like, I like the word fuck.
My cousin, if he's really pissed off at me, he'll go, fuck you, really. Like, and he means it. All right, what's your favorite curse word?
Balls. No. I like any curse word that an Irishman says that I can't understand, and yet I know that they're cursing, because the Irish have like mastered cursing so well. They've literally invented terms that make no sense. So anything that comes out of a drunk Irishman's mouth is going to be awesome. That was probably not the answer you expected.
Being Irish, yes, it's exactly the answer I expected. All right, here's the big one. And then I'm going to kiss you goodbye.
All right.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Gee, I don't know. I don't think I'd like to do anything too reputable. Like, it'd have to be some, I don't know. I just feel like I've always been involved with entertainment, that entertainment was going to be, or the arts. I've always been involved with the arts. But if I had to choose other than my own, probably something in the medical field, just because it comes with, like, oh, that guy wears a lab coat. My father worked in the hospital, just retired. So I always admired him, but did not want to take that path, took a different path. So yeah, probably something in the medical field.
Really? Well, you're still serving people like you are now.
Yeah, I make people happy.
There you go.
I try not to take things too seriously, if you couldn't tell. Just
never
make
do.
people happy. Yeah.
Never do. Well, Bobo, thank you so much. It's been great meeting you.
It's been great meeting you too, Matt.
If you're ever in Arizona or in Oregon, you're always welcome.
Cool,
please come by, and that'd be great. So, and thanks for everyone for showing up. And once again, don't forget Patreon, YouTube, the Grams, and actually, Bobo's got a great following on Facebook.
Yeah,
check it out. All right, I'll see you next week. This Saturday, Josh from Daily Mountain Bike Rider is going to be on. So we'll see how that goes. I'll bet he won't demonetize this shit.
Probably not. I like Josh. Josh is a good guy.